What are the most important factors in setting goals to make sure that we achieve them? The answer to that question, coming right up. I'm Ron with LeadSkill. We help leaders of small companies and teams think big and get bottom line results. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button while you're at it. Okay, setting goals. You know they're important. Have you heard of the Yale and Harvard studies on setting goals? Seems the most successful grads of those schools, when they went back and studied them years later, were the most successful people because they set goals. At least that's what the gurus have told us. Maybe you've heard their stories, sat in their seminars, or seen some of the stories across the internet about that. And true confession, I'm one of those trainers who was telling those stories for a while until the day that I found out they're not true. They're just urban legends. There's really no documentation behind this, besides the fact that the stories have been told and repeated many times, and you can find them in a lot of different places, even in print. But the fact is, if you check on it with Harvard and Yale, no such studies ever happened. So, there's the downer. Now here's where it gets real. There are 3 things that will make a positive difference when it comes to setting goals. And this has been studied and documented recently. In 2014, Gail Matthews with Dominican University in California did demonstrate that written, specific, and accountable goals have at least more than double the chance of being accomplished compared to when you don't do any one of those things. So let's unpack that briefly. First of all, written. Now, just writing a goal down makes a difference. And you've probably heard that before, but maybe you haven't done it because you think, man, that's old school. Do we really have to go through that kind of a process here in the digital age? Well, I've got another video in the series about that, so I'll just let that rest. But the studies show that yes, it is important to write down your goals. The act of writing actually accomplishes things on several levels. So I encourage you, write down your goals. Second of all, specific. You need to get really clear on what you're going to accomplish. What is going to happen by when? And how are you going to measure it? A well-structured goal will only have 2 possible answers to the question, did you accomplish it? Yes or no? If there's any maybe, if there's any wiggle room at all, it's not really a great goal. It's not as clear and specific as it needs to be. And here's the thing, vague goals or undated goals or goals that are intangible, you can't measure them really well, or the measurements are fuzzy. Those aren't the best goals, and they don't have the highest chance of achieving them. So you need to make your goals specific. Now, third, accountable. Sharing your goal with someone really increases the chances that you're going to accomplish it. I know some of you are thinking, well, I've heard the opposite, that you shouldn't share your goals with other people. Don't tell anyone. Well, the research actually says that's just wrong-headed. So if you share your goal with other people, there is a much greater likelihood that you're going to accomplish it. There are exceptions, of course. Goals that are set out of ego or to grandstand or for any number of reasons that are not really authentic, yeah, I can see why you'd keep those to yourself, or why just sharing them is no guarantee that you're going to accomplish them. Because the point is, when you share your goals and you make yourself accountable to someone else, it increases the likelihood that you're going to go to work on it. And let's just be real about this. Setting the goal doesn't make you achieve it. It's only when it gets down to perspiration, to actual work, when you go to work on your goals, that you can actually accomplish them. And when you share it with other people and you make yourself accountable, that increases the likelihood you'll go to work on it and you're going to get something done. So this actually is backed up by my own personal experience. I've coached close to 1,000 managers over my career, and they've shared their goals with me. And one of the things that they often give me as feedback is, I know if I wasn't working with a coach like you, I wouldn't be accomplishing nearly as much as what I get out of sharing and talking aloud in our time together about what I want to accomplish, and getting sharper, getting more focused on this, and being accountable. And my coaching to them, as well as to you, it has been, well, it's great you shared it with me. Now go share it with a couple of other people that you're interacting with on a daily basis in your environment, who are just going to be there by their very presence. Even if they never ask you about the goal, it's going to make you think a second or a third time about your goal, and you're going to follow up on it. You're going to do something about it. There's some accountability just by the fact that you shared and they know about it. So it works. If you'll do these 3 things, any one of these things Gail Matthews demonstrated in her study increases your likelihood of accomplishing the goal. So if all you do is write it down, you're already that much further ahead. But if you write it down and you make it specific and you're accountable, you really increase your chances of accomplishing and achieving your goals. I encourage you to listen to the other videos in the series, why goals should be written down. Also, leave a comment for us if this video is helpful. And I want to encourage you, in my show notes below, I actually have a link for you to sign up for a free goals mini course that we'll send to you by email over 4 days, giving you just on the spot coaching for the day. Each one of those is only 3 minutes long, so it's very doable for every day, that you can really get coaching and wisdom to accomplish your goals in a shorter amount of time. So sign up for those. Again, thanks for joining me on this journey, and all the best to you in accomplishing your goals.